Hi, it's Brittany with Lectin Free Kitchen. I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic because if you follow Lectin Free Kitchen or my personal page regularly, you will know this is something I do every single day and it's kind of something that I love, and that is coffee. I love making coffee. There's something about coffee that just feels so good, a warm cup in the morning and taking the time to make it, and it's so delicious, and it's really something that I indulge in every single day. Not only does it bring me joy, but it's also really good for me. So that's one of the reasons I just want to talk to you a little bit about coffee today. I'm also going to talk about coffee substitution. So maybe you're watching this video and you're like, Brittany, I don't even like coffee. That's okay. I'm going to talk about a few substitutions you can also bring in. Just get that good feeling and those also health benefits for your body. There are a lot of links between cognitive health and coffee drinking, so it's definitely something Dr. Gundry recommends, but also I recommend bringing into your regular lifestyle. And there are so many ways that you can do that. There are so many different things you can add, so many different ways you can make coffee that really just make it delicious. The number one thing though, if you are having coffee, is always remember that coffee is better as coffee. So don't bring in those added sugars or that A1 milk. Don't add those into the mix. Coffee can be just as delicious on its own or by adding those approved items into your coffee, like cinnamon or almond milk, maybe even a little bit of heavy cream or coconut milk. There are certainly things you can add that are totally approved that are going to be just as delicious without those really sweet coffee creamers that may be full of who knows what kind of syrup and really high sugar content and things that we shouldn't be eating. There are a lot of other really great things you can add. My absolute favorite way to make coffee, and I really think it brings out the most flavor, is actually by doing pour over coffee. So maybe you're a coffee drinker where you just get the Folgers and you add it to your coffee pot. That is totally okay, but I would recommend maybe ordering a pour over coffee next time you go to your local coffee shop. I think you'll find that the flavors that you find in your coffee are much more pronounced and really delicious. It's kind of like drinking a wine where you can pull out those, flavors of berries or wood or whatever it may be. You can do the same thing with coffee, and I think that's very overlooked or not very well known, but it can actually be a delicacy and it can be really delicious. So maybe next time you're at your local coffee shop, try ordering that pour over coffee and ask your barista what is in it and see if you can pull out those flavors, and it ends up being kind of fun. It's one of the reasons why I love making my pour over every single morning. Great healthy coffee alternatives, if you're not a coffee drinker, are hot cocoa. You can do that with unsweetened cocoa powder. That's totally okay. You can do tea. I know a lot of people who drink tea every morning. Almost every type of tea out there is approved on the Plant Paradox diet, and I am a regular tea drinker too. Just because I have coffee doesn't mean I drink tea. I actually crave tea so often, and I have a cup of coffee and tea every single day. Matcha is great. Chicory coffee is also awesome. I drink chicory coffee all the time. It's very popular in New Orleans, but it's also something that you can buy everywhere now, and chicory is so good for you. It's really delicious. It's definitely something I recommend looking into. Same with mushroom coffee and rooibos tea. Those are all great coffee alternatives that you can certainly look into. As far as alternatives for those bad creamers or those bad milks that you may be used to adding, you can do coconut milk. That's also super delicious. I'll pour some coconut milk in a pot and heat it up on the stove and add some cinnamon and pour some coffee in there, and it ends up being super delicious. You can use unsweetened cocoa powder, cinnamon. You can even make bulletproof coffee. This is something I really love, with an approved butter, like an Italian butter and some MCT oil or some coconut oil. Put all of that in your blender, blend it together, and you're going to actually have like a latte of coffee. It's creamy and it has froth on top, and It's full of those healthy fats, which are so good for you. That's one of my favorite ways to have coffee as well. So definitely look into drinking coffee. I think your gut bugs will definitely appreciate and thank you for it. Again, coffee drinkers are shown to burn fat faster, enjoy improved energy and focus. And it's definitely something I recommend doing. So even if you're not a coffee drinker, definitely check out those alternatives. But I hope you enjoy your cup of coffee.